I want to talk to you this morning about finding sellers in a market with low inventory. Does that sound like a good conversation, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, there's Elsa. Yeah. All right. So first thing I would do is I would reverse prospect. So I would reach out to, this is just like circle prospecting, except instead of calling the seller, and the script would be, Michael, we recently sold a home in your neighborhood, which is great news. Our challenge now is there are buyers who are interested in great. Okay. Instead of doing that, I'm simply going to call the neighborhood and I'm going to say, hey, Michael, John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. I know you're busy and I only need 60 seconds. Now, guys, those are bullet points. If you listen to me talk, you'll understand that the way I learn my scripts is by writing them in bullet points and speaking them in bullet points. And everything that I just said is super important. Don't leave that out. Remember, this is a care call. This is a friend and family call. This is not a sales call. So, hey, Michael, John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty. Thank you for taking my call. Always lead with gratitude. It's important. I know you're busy. That lets them know immediately that you acknowledge the fact that you've called them, you've interrupted their day, and you only need 60 seconds. Now they're going to listen to you, hopefully. I only need 60 seconds. And the reason for my call is you may or may not know there is very low inventory in the real estate market right now. And I've actually got 3 buyers that are looking for homes in your neighborhood. Now, these buyers are looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home with a pool. I've also got a buyer who's looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home with a pool that backs to the golf course. And I was just curious, who do you know in your neighborhood that might have a home that fits that description? You're prospecting your buyers to potential sellers. So that's reverse prospecting. The other thing that I would do is I would make a list of my buyers. And stop me at any time, guys, if you want to stop and have a conversation around this, because I'm cool with that. This is a coaching call, not a classroom seminar.
I do remember a kind of a letter that we did have on Bold, and who was even more personalized when you have really a certain type of buyers and you know really the buyers. And I thought it was really meaningful to send that letter, say, hey, I'm working with Michael and Paige, and they have the little girl, whatever, and they're looking for that type of house. Who do you know in your neighborhood as well?
Yes, I agree, Elsa. Now, you could also have your buyer actually write the letter.
Yes.
In other words, hello, this is Michael and Paige. We are excited to be in the process or in the search for a new 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in your neighborhood in order to raise our young family. And so have the letter come directly from your buyer, right? Without their contact information, of course. You don't want the people contacting them directly. If you know of anybody that has a home that fits this description, please call my realtor, Elsa Rosenberg, with your phone number, Elsa.
Of course.
Okay, there you go. All right, make a list of your buyers. And I don't mean by name. You can mention them by first name. That's fine. I would list, you see the dogs playing behind me? Cool. I would list, I have a buyer looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 2-car garage in the Coral Glades School District. I have another buyer that's looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home in Stoneman Douglas School District. I have a buyer who's looking to live on the golf course in Coral Springs. And I would just list all of the buyers that I'm currently working with. Now, I would have that list of buyers with me all the time because that's something that I would show to a potential seller in a listing appointment. In other words, one of the reasons you should hire me is this is a list of all the buyers that I'm working with. Or this is a list of all the buyers that my team is working with. The other reason that I would carry that list with me at all times is if I'm talking to a for sale by owner, again, this is a list of buyers that I'm working with. Guys, I warned you about the dog, so there they go. The other thing that I would do with this list is I would mail it to targeted neighborhoods. And then I would follow that mailer with a phone call. I'm going to mute everybody because it's okay if I have background noise, not if you don't. Not if you do. And then if you want to talk, just take yourself off mute, guys.
Can I ask you something, John?
Hold on one second, Elsa. I'm going to hit mute and then hit unmute and jump in. Okay.
So my question is it okay to be so precise into your call or into your letter that you are looking for 3, 2, garage, blah, blah, blah? Shouldn't be more vague, because when you are calling all that neighborhood, you don't know how the house looks like. And I don't want to seem foolish if they have like a 5-bedroom or 4-bedroom or something like that.
No, I think it's okay to be precise, because if I sent a letter to your house and I described your home and you were thinking of selling anyways, this realtor has a buyer that's actually looking for a property just like mine, it's more likely that you're going to give me a call.
Okay.
Now, if I'm not describing your home, I'm still demonstrating that I'm an aggressive real estate agent, that I go above and beyond in order to service my clients. And again, my hope and my goal is that you would see that I'm a real estate agent that you might want to work with. Absolutely. And when I follow up that phone call, when I follow up that mailer, I'm going to call everybody in the neighborhood a week after I send the mailer out. And it's this, and the only difference now is, Elsa, this is John Dietz, blah, 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 blah. I recently sent a mailer to your neighborhood in reference to buyers that I'm working with. And I was just curious if you know of anybody that has that's thinking of selling, that has a home that fits the description for any of my buyers.
No, I don't, but I record the letter.
Yeah,
John,
cool. Yeah, Eddie, go ahead. Go ahead, Eddie.
Precise also sounds real.
There you go. And it is real. Guys, I'm not telling, thank you, Eddie. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, listen to me. It's important that you hear me. I 100% don't want you to make this stuff up. Make it real. Okay? That's
John,
that's integrity. Yes, please do, Melissa.
Before I forget.
Yes.
2 questions. You mentioned the list that you would take to listing appointments. That got my attention. What would that list look like? And, you know, because you have to be careful, I guess, what type of information you share with other people. What would you recommend we put on this list? Because we are going to do that, and we would like to take it to our listing appointments. What would it look like? And then the second question is, how would you approach, you know, because we've gained several buyers, how would you approach your buyer to write the letter themselves, where it doesn't look like you just want them to do your job?
Yeah. What I would do is I would have a conversation with you, and the conversation would be around low inventory, and you're frustrated because you want to buy a home and you're not finding anything on the market that fits your description. So I would say, Melissa, I've got this idea that I would like to share with you. I've used this in the past, or I've known other real estate agents that have done this and it works. If I can help you write a letter that would go out to potential sellers describing the home that you want and why that home is important to you. Remember logic and emotion, guys. What that home would do for you and your family, and how and why you're so excited to move into Parkland. You've got a family with 3 children and you're specifically want to live in the Stoneman Douglas School District. It makes it more personal versus being cold coming from a real estate agent. It doesn't have to be a long letter. Think of it like this. Melissa, have you ever made an offer on a property and had your buyer attach a letter to the offer describing why they wanted that home? Same thing.
Okay.
John?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But let me answer the other question Melissa had really quick.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Whoever that was, hold on one second. Melissa, you're just going to use Microsoft Word and you're just going to list the type of property the buyer is looking for. Now, the Dietz team, we had 3 buyer agents and 4 buyer agents. It depended on the day of the week. And that was funny. And each of them were working with 8 to 10 buyers, which means we would have a list of 30 buyers, 30 properties that we're looking for. And I would bring that with me on a listing appointment. And I would say, this is a list of the buyers that I'm currently working with. And there's a long list of buyers on there. It's impressive. They're like, wow, this is somebody I want to work with. So just use Microsoft Word. Guys, put yourself on mute if you got a lot of background noise. Just use Microsoft Word and create a list of what type of property you're looking for: bedrooms, baths, location, pool, golf course, backs to a lake. It doesn't have to be long, just single line. Did that help, Melissa? Thumbs up? Cool. All right, Cindy, I think you were next.
I just wanted to share that that is exactly what we did to get this amazing listing. We did a little, we wrote a letter and said, which is the truth, we have buyers looking in this particular building and we haven't been able to find anything, but if they, you know, if they're interested in selling. So we got the appointment and he said, well, you're here because of the letter, you have a buyer. And it turned out that he put $140,000 into his unit. So it's like the highest priced, highest condition. And so I was just real honest with them. I said, I just don't know. Prices are up $100,000 year over year. I need to make sure that they can, you know, give you what you want. But the point is, you know, that it was real. And at the end of the day, the person I had in mind did do it. But I also was kind of honest, like, you don't know the condition or the price or anything. And they actually respect, I think, that honesty, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I do have people, I know this product, I know how to market it. And in that conversation, you know, they listed. So anyway, I just think it's a great idea. And we've already benefited, you know, $1.3 million. So, you know, I'm writing letters like crazy right now.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Good job, Cindy. Okay, so the next thing that I would do is I would look at a list of properties that have come off the market in the last 6 months that are not relisted. Just do a cross check and make sure they're not active and they haven't sold. And I would send an email to the listing agent of that property. And my email would simply say, if you're planning on relisting this property, please ignore this email. However, if you are not going to relist the property, I would gladly pay you a referral fee of 25% for the seller's contact information. Now, tell me what you think of that.
I love the idea. I had the idea previously and I wasn't sure that we could do that. So I'm happy to hear from you that we have the go.
Go. 100%. I would list 10 homes a year at least on average using that, because that's one of the things that I did. 100%. Absolutely. Every so often I'd have a real estate agent contact me and say, who the heck do you think you are? Why are you better than I am? Blah, blah, blah. Just delete, next. Right? And it will generate listings, guys. Absolutely. Yeah.
John, can't we get that information already if we're using a dialer?
You could. Yeah. However, you might have a better chance of getting a listing if you get a referral from the previous agent, because along with that, that agent is going to call the seller and say, hey, I've got this agent. His name is Michael Topo, and he's a rock star, and you might want to listen to him. Now it's a warm call and not a cold call.
Right.
Additionally, it might be a good way to go ahead and recruit that agent, because he's going to reach out to you. You know what? I never thought of that.
Alex is always thinking recruiting. I love that.
But wouldn't that make sense? I mean, hey, you know, I never thought of that. What a great idea. Well, you should be on John Dietz' coaching class.
Yeah. Well, you know, at the bottom of my email, because I had a cut and paste email that I sent out daily, that email that I just shared with you went out to about 20 agents a day, every day. And at the bottom of the email, it also said, by the way, I'm always looking for talented real estate agents. If you know of anybody that would be a good fit for my team, give me a call.
Say, John, I've had the same scenario playing out now for 2 weeks, because after I got the offer on my home, I've had 3 other real estate agents call me and say, hey, if your deal falls apart, I got a buyer for you.
There you go.
So I've been door knocking my whole neighborhood trying to find the house like mine. I was amazed 3 people walked me through their home, showed me all their upgrades and things like that. 2 of them were not ready to do anything right now, and I do have one that, you know, we're in discussion about the listing. So it was just amazing to me that, you know, in these times of COVID and everything, door knocking is just as normal as ever. So
love it.
if people feel like, oh, I shouldn't be door knocking, it's okay. I mean, no one gave me a hard time about anything.
Yeah, door knock and step back 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
And don't count feet. Just don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a number. Get back from the door.
And I didn't wear my mask. I had one with me. If someone, I said, hey, you want me to put this on? They're like, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I love that. Great job. By the way, you could sell an off-the-market property too, Dave. So if you talk to somebody and I said, yeah, you've got a buyer that would buy my home. I want to sell it. However, I'm not going to list it. Right? And could you connect the real estate agent who has a buyer to the seller who wants to sell their home and get a 25% referral fee on that?
I could. I was just going for the home run though.
Of course. I just want you to plan A, plan B, right?
Yeah.
And put in writing everything. Don't be first without being sure that you got it.
No. I'm getting the referral agreement is between me and the other agent too, by the way. So I'm going to get an agreement with the seller and I'm going to get an agreement with the other agent. All right. The other thing that I want you to do, I'm giving you as many ideas as I can before we run out of time, guys, is I want you to look at people who bought a home between 2008 and 2012 who are not living in the home. Properties that are not owner occupied. In other words, these are investors. And they bought the house between 2008 and 2012 and call them. Why am I picking properties that are not owner occupied, purchased between 2008 and 2012? Why am I suggesting you do that?
No emotional attachment.
Okay, Michael Topo, jump in there. You were right, absolutely. Whoever said that, I'm sorry. And Michael Topo, go.
They've got a ton of equity because they bought at the bottom of the market.
Yes.
And if they're investors, they're definitely driven by cash.
Yes, and they may not even know it, Michael.
Yeah.
They may not even know that we're in a market with no inventory. So you're going to tell them, hey, by the way, we have less than 30 days of inventory in our market right now. And your property has gone up, if it's been 10 years, your property has gone up by more than 50% in the last 10 years. Probably more than maybe 100%. Maybe it's worth double what they paid for it. And they don't know that. And they also don't know that we're in a market with less than 30 days of inventory. Connect the dots and help them go, aha.
John, talk to us about how do we find these properties?
Cool. It's available through search engines, just like it's tax records, it's public records. I know Cindy's still on the. There you go. Yeah.
And we would know that they were unoccupied because the properties aren't homesteaded.
That's correct. And the mailing address is going to be different than the home address.
That too. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
And I'm positive, it's been many years since I've done this, so I'm looking for somebody who's actually doing this right now. That's why I was looking for Cindy to maybe jump in here. I'm positive there's actually a list that you can purchase. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yeah, I'm not sure in South Florida, but Remine is a product that the Stellar MLS put in, and it can do all that kind of stuff.
There you go.
And I think maybe Realist could do it. But, you know, worst case, you could go in the MLS and you could pull a neighborhood and put the sold dates in the search bar, right? Like sold and calculate the dates, pull that up, download it, and do a real list on that. I mean, you know, there's ways to get it done.
There you go. Love it. Thank you, Cindy. All right. The next thing that I would do is I would get into Facebook, just like you guys are doing ad campaigns to market your listings. I would market my buyers. And I would run Facebook posts for free, just put them on your page, or do paid ads. And these are the buyers that I'm currently working with. Now, keep in mind, guys, when I say these are the buyers that I'm currently working with, I don't mean put Bob and Susan Smith. Their names don't matter. You're describing the property. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home with a pool. 4-bedroom, 3-bath home on the golf course. 4-bedroom, 3-bath home on the Intercoastal. And I would run those on Facebook. In other words, I have buyers looking for a home. This is what they're looking for. There's no inventory. If you know of anybody who has a home that fits this description, please check the box below for more information. That's a paid ad. A free ad would be, please message me or email me at. You're gonna find people who wanna sell their home.
That's awesome, John. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go do that today.
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, are we getting value today?
Oh my God, I was just telling Jackie, I love it. This is why I get on every day, because I can't miss an opportunity.
So this goes to the conversation we were having on the phone yesterday, right? Holy cow. Yeah. Why would you be here if you're not getting value? Guys, I'm not that entertaining. Holy cow. If you guys want to be entertained, turn on Netflix. Seriously.
You are entertaining, John.
Yeah. All right, whatever. The other thing thank you, Melissa. The other thing I would do, and this is the last thing I would do, is I would call my sphere of influence and my past clients, and especially if I've been in the business for more than 10 years and I've got clients in my own database that have been in their home for more than 5 years. And I would simply say, hey, Alan, is just reaching out to you to see if you'd like an equity update on your property. I know you've been in your home for 5 years, and congratulations, because the market's been incredible over the last 5 years. Would you like me to send you an updated equity update on your property? There we go. Would you like me to send you an equity update on your property?
Yes, please. Actually, that'd be great.
Of course. Now, that carries the conversation to, oh my goodness, I didn't know that the value of my home has gone up by more than 70,000, right? What do you think of the market? That's going to be the next question they're going to ask you. And your response is going to be, wow, I'm so glad you asked. We actually have less than 30 days of inventory right now. It's a great time to sell. Just out of curiosity, have you been thinking of selling your home? If you did, where would you move? What's important to you about moving to blank? How soon would you like to get there? They might have enough equity in their home, guys, that they can purchase a new home for cash and get rid of their mortgage payment. All right, date 58. We've got 2 minutes. Give me some ahas.
Of ahas, you gave me 3 great things to work on this weekend. Number 1, reaching out to people with investment properties. I have 2 or 3 of them. 2, as far as a reverse prospecting in some of my areas. And it works out really good for me with my REO properties, especially the one that I have out in Margate that sold in 7 days. So I'm doing postcards out to that. Awesome.
I'd send this list of buyers to the bank. If for those of you working REOs, why should you hire me to sell your REOs? Here's a list of buyers that I'm working with. This is why you should hire me.
Absolutely.
Who's next? Guys, somebody other than Alex.
Yeah, really.
Hey, John.
Yes. Hi, Jeff. Jeff, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Try again. Okay, I think Jeff lost his signal. Who's next? By the way, speaking of Jeff, I am an accountability agreement with Tara Carter. Tara, are you on this call? Tara's going to get a call from me.
My big aha was that I wasn't aware that it was less than 30 days of inventory. And this is going to really help me in my appointment tomorrow in Hollywood. I have people who are literally sitting on a house that is paid off, that belong to their parents who are both deceased, and it's an emotional thing, and they've had it sitting there for over a year because it's their parents and there's this emotional thing. But I think this is really going to help fortify me in that conversation tomorrow to help get some movement going.
Right. And Cerise, I love that. And thank you so much for jumping in and participating. And just one thing, I'm using 30 days as a script for this conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be 30 days. So just check the local inventory before you tell people it's less than 30 days.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, it depends on the price range. Absolutely. If you're in Hollywood and it's a condo, you might have a 2-year supply of inventory. So be careful. Don't say 30 days because that's probably not the case.
Got it.
Yep. All right. One more aha before I let you go for the weekend.
Just that the sky is the limit, and really we can just invent whatever we want in order to make it happen. I love the idea of trying to have referrals from realtor who didn't succeed in selling the properties, because it's an easy way also to approach other real estate agent, and who knows, maybe you will add value in their life as well, and bring them also on that Zoom call so they will have their mind open as well. It's a nice way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Stay open.
Yeah. So I'll close with this. I'm just going to tell you a quick story around that. I listed a property in Eastlake Woodlands. If Cindy is still on the call, she knows exactly where I'm talking about. And the list price on the property was $550,000. Now I got this listing from sending that email to the realtor who didn't sell the property. And the agent said, "Sure, John, I'll be glad to refer you." And she reached out to the seller, told the seller I was going to give her a call, connected the 2 of us, and I listed the property. It sold in less than a week. It was on the market for 6 months with the previous agent, didn't sell, and she hired me, and it sold in less than a week. Now, the biggest thing that I did is I got them into the right price range. Let's say it expired at $550,000 and I relisted the property at $515,000, because I seemed to remember this was 10 years ago, guys, that it was about $515,000. Now, it doesn't mean I just dropped the price by $40,000. What it means, it was overpriced by $40,000. That's why it didn't sell, by the way. And not only did we sell that property, the next door neighbor also hired us. Same price range, about $500,000, because we sold the home next door. So there's 2 sales that I got from 1 email. The next door neighbor also bought a home in South Tampa. The home they bought was over $1 million. So there's $2 million in closed sales that I got from 1 email, and I only paid a referral on 1 of the 3 sales. So is it worth it?
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys, make it a great weekend. See everybody Tuesday morning. Don't forget, Monday's a holiday. Be safe. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, John.
Got it.
Enjoy the family.
Got it, buddy. Thank you.
Take care, John. Bye.
Yep.
John, are we going to have a call on Monday?
No call Monday. Holiday. Tuesday morning. I'll send everybody an email. Look for the email because our format's changing next week as well.
Is that the same with Alan's call? There'll be no 3:30 call Monday?
That is correct, Jeff.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
My pleasure, guys.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Yes. Thanks, David. Jenny, looking good. Good to see you.